on down the centre corridor. Mackie can go. Now Ablett is short. He'll go shorter than that. You saw Ablett flying through. Burns the mark. Varco should shepherd. He does. And Burns kicks and hits the post.
I'll tell you what, a lot of relief there for Matthew Lappin. He was the man chasing Shannon Burns, and he just couldn't pick him up leg speed-wise. But we saw a discussion at three-quarter time between Dennis Pagan and Matthew Lappin. We just see Burns getting another crack, and he misses again after a turnover by the Blues. But Matthew Lappin, he's come back onto the ground. He's had 9 touches in the last quarter. You know, it's great to see him at least stand up and say, well, I'll give everything I've got for the last half an hour and I'll get myself involved in the play. It'd be very easy just to drop your head and not want to be a part of things tonight.
The margin is 90, and their previous best win over the Blues was 73.
There's possession number 10 for Lappin this quarter.
Many of the Blues fans headed for the exits a long time ago. The crowd, an impressive one tonight, 41,113. That's a telling stat as well. 20-4. The marks inside the forward 50 for Geelong.
Interesting change for the Blues. Mark Murphy off for a spell, and Cameron Cloke, second ruckman, on for the Blues.
Scramble at half forward for Carlton.
And he looks like he might just sit a kick behind play, Cameron Cloke.
So what happens to Lance Whitnell? Continues at full back?
Well, it's funny. They tend to play a horses for courses type of deal with Lance Whitnell, and they'll move him forward some weeks, back other weeks, as we see a big spiral kicked in.
Well read by Egan, couldn't hang on.
But that doesn't necessarily make it easy to rediscover your touch, does it? You know, is it easier to get possessions sweeping across half-back, or perhaps go back to his natural position of centre-half forward and see if he can just use his smarts to kick a few goals?
Well, it must be taking its toll, I think, on people at Carlton. Certainly be taking its toll on Lance, because as captain of the club, he hasn't got off to a great start, but he just looks probably a bit more comfortable at the moment in defence than he did up forward.
Blues pressing late, trailing by 90 points. Gary Ablett is there. Josh Hunt have been a step ahead.
Straight to the opposition.
All evening except for then as Fisher marks. Fisher kicked 2 goals in the second quarter. Carazzo with 2 as well for the Blues. The rest singles. Reiterating, a goalless night for Favola with 3 minutes remaining. Scotland, their primary ball winner, with 37 touches. Fisher missing this one to the near side. 24-17, plays 10-12 now. So the Blues will be forced into playing catch-up by way of percentage for the good part of the early going.
Well, right now Matthew Lappin is side-by-side Brad Ottens, but the short fired themselves up.
He's heading to the bench, Ottens. Blake about to come on.
Geelong running. They've had 11 goal kickers tonight. Ablett, Nathan and Mooney each with 5. What's going to happen here? Cameron Ling running into Cameron Cloke. Good tackle by the Blues big man as Stevens goes to Walker on the wing. Short ball effective. Carazzo, was he off?
He certainly was. Got away with it.
Fev continues to lead. Back and forth as Carazzo squares it up for Cloke. And he's going to try and give the Fev a go, but he's got to beat about 14. Eddie Betts emerges through the gloom tonight for the Blues and drives it through. Good goal from Eddie, his second of the final quarter.
That's a great goal, Jason. He elected to go the boomerang.
I was about to say, how can you go on a big sweeping arc to the left and end up kicking a banana? You've got to kick it across your body running the wrong way.
He actually made it more difficult. He might have just straightened up in that last step. Let's have a look at it unfold. Kennedy throws the target. But there it was. Yeah, he just got the angle right, did Eddie Betts. So he's got 2 for the night. And I guess as a small forward, that's a pretty reasonable return, given there's been a lack of opportunities.
So Carlton have finished with the last 3 goals of the match after the margin had got to 99 points. Less than 2 minutes to go. And we'll get another bounce in the middle. And the fans start the song. Selwood.
He's a quality young man, this one. Clear thinker with the footy in his hand. And
oh, the ruckman, he's done it again. The big bloke, he just couldn't keep his balance.
I would not want to see him in a hurdles race. Nathan Ablett for Selwood, who snaps at goal and misses to the near side.
That was nearly a spectacular pickup of his bootlaces running at full pace, Mark Blake, and just...
Well, he took offence at your comments about big blokes early in a match.
When they try to do too much, it always goes wrong. And it did.
Gibbs. 84 points is Geelong's lead. Thornton. Wiggins through midfield. Fev again. Gee, the crowd gets stuck into him. He pops it up. Ackland is in front of Egan. Ball is over their head. And it's a boundary throw-in.
Even that kick there into Kane Ackland wasn't a particularly great one from Fev. He's a big bloke, you want to kick it up in the air, but kick it to the advantage of the contest. If he's in front, you don't want him having to prop and push back against his opponent to get it.
Betts for his third of the final term. He finishes with a flurry. And that's what Eddie Betts can do. Light things up in a hurry. Alas for Blues fans, the game was shot to bits a long time ago. But some late respectability. They now finish with the last 4 goals.
If they kick one more, does that jeopardise the greatest winning margin between these two sides, Clinton?
Right now it's at 78 points. All time 73. One more goal would avoid history, Jason.
Josh Hunt coming from the ground.
Corey. Carlton need one more to avoid an unwanted place in history for matches between these two clubs. Oh, Cameron Mooney.
Sort of big half, 3/4.
Can line up his 6th goal after having none in the first quarter.
He's still got Joel Corey in space if he wants it.
He's going to go short, and it's Gardner presenting himself. And Charlie Gardner might have the final kick of the night. It's been a great night for the Cats. The only remaining question is the final margin. Gardner hasn't kicked a goal. One of only 11 Cats that has not kicked a goal tonight in this celebration. And that's what it has been. They've unveiled 2 young stars. Can Gardner ice a very rich cake? He can't. It matters not. Geelong with their greatest ever win over the Blues in 110 years of meetings. They've won by 78 points on a night where Tom Hawkins made an entertaining debut.